Delighted to welcome back on the show. It's been a while since we caught up, and I haven't spoken to him since UFC Dublin. Obviously, not good circumstances there. Joseph Duffy. Joe, how are you, my friend? Good to catch up again. I believe you're out of the dorms anyway in Tristar.
I'm out of the dorms, man. I'm out of the dorms. I'm still got the same name on it. It's still the Duffy Street, apparently.
Yeah. It was a better weekend for a couple of your teammates, obviously Ireland Allen and Tom Breeze, than it was for the Irish rugby team. I know you're a big rugby supporter as well as myself, Joe. Some of the lads' performances on Saturday night at UFC London.
The lads look good. Arnie looked as good as I ever seen. Looked real composed. Real good, mature performance. And and Breeze, fucking, fighting a veteran. 40 fights and a high level grappler. And to be honest, I thought Breeze looked more dangerous than he did on the ground.
Yeah.
So it was another great performance. A good unanimous decision.
How good is Tom Breeze? We spoke with Tom a lot on the show. We saw his performance against Cahill at UFC Dublin. Obviously, that was a lot more impressive than his one on Saturday. Still a very impressive performance against, as you mentioned, an old vet in Nakamura in that fight. He's a real killer for the future. He's a potential UFC champion, if that's fair to say.
Yeah, without a doubt. After he fought Cahill, he came back here. He was sparring Lucien Boutte for the fight, and then the following week he went off to the Worlds and got a silver in the Worlds in Jiu-Jitsu. So I think that pretty much sums up how good he is, really.
It's going to be interesting to see what weight division he fights at, though. He's looking like a heavyweight at the moment, so I think it's fair to say.
Yeah, he's huge. To be honest, I'm just glad he's not in camp now because I'm getting battered.
Yeah, Joe, talk to me about, integrating into there. Obviously, there's a lot of French Canadians there. What's it been like culturally settling down in Montreal and having a house? That must be very important now for you.
Yeah, definitely. I love it here, to be honest, Niall. Like, the people are so nice, so friendly. So, I could see myself staying here, maybe even after a fighting as well. I really like it here. It makes a difference having your own place as well, your own space, and just being fit to do whatever you want when you want, I suppose. It took a bit of getting used to because obviously when you're in the dorms, there's always someone around, so you're used to the company. But now I'm definitely well settled now, and it's stupid, but even just the walk to the gym every day, back and forth the gym. Before my session, I feel a bit more alert, and I feel like I go into my sessions a bit more switched on. So it's definitely making a difference.
And look back now, it's been a couple of months since the Dustin fight, and how did you assess that performance? I thought if the fight possibly, had it been a 5-rounder like it was scheduled in Dublin, yeah, you seem to look stronger in the third round. Were you a little bit disappointed with the way you started in the fight?
I was just disappointed in my whole performance. To tell you the truth, I didn't feel myself in there. I know I'm better than what I showed, and it just wasn't a great performance in general. But it's one of them. It's a fight, and I'm always going to be in there. I'm never going to quit. So as the fight goes on, I always believe I'm still going to win. Second round. I'm getting ground and pounded, but not at any point did the thought ever come into my head that I was going to lose the fight.
Yeah.
I still thought as soon as I get back on my feet, I'm going to knock him out. That was my thought process. So, I don't think too much about if it was a 5-rounder or blah blah blah. I just go back to the gym and.
Is the training different though, Joe, as well? Because obviously, at UFC Dublin coming into that fight, you only learned, when you arrived in Dublin that you weren't medically cleared to fight. Was there a big difference training from the 5-rounder and the 3-rounder between October and January?
A wee bit here now.
All right, no worries.
There you go. I think I got you back now. What were you saying, sorry, Niall?
Yeah. The difference between obviously UFC Dublin in October, you were training for a 5-round fight, and the fight obviously only fell out in fight week, and then you're going for a 3-round fight in January. What's the training like in the build up to that? Is it different?
Not really. It was good. I rolled from one camp to another, so I had a good level of fitness. I think more than anything, it's just trying to watch you don't burn out. Also, the dieting for the second fight was harder. Like, I got to the point where I was getting a little bit fed up because obviously, I've been dieting pretty much for like 18
Yeah.
weeks or so. But no excuses. It was just the same thing. Business as normal. The camp went well. It was just in the fight, I just didn't feel like I performed as well as I could.
How tight was that triangle in at the end? It looked pretty tight. Maybe if the fight had gone 10, 15 more seconds, do you think you would have had that locked in?
Yeah, I think it was sort of. I wouldn't say it was that tight. It was just a sort. It was the start of the triangle, really. When I sunk it in, I kind of knew I was racing against the clock. Like, I think I heard the 30 seconds. Someone should call 30 seconds or something along them lines. So, I knew I didn't have much time to work on it. So, rather than going about my normal way, I think I went for the elbows because I thought, if I catch him good, maybe I'll KO him or something. Because obviously, the time was against me. But
Mm.
obviously, a bit more time. Who knows? But it's
Oh, yeah.
regardless. I run out of time, and that's it. Again, I didn't give it too much thought.
You've been pretty quiet. We haven't heard much from you in the media or anything like that in the last couple of months. Have you just sort of taken a bit of time away from it, get your head together? Because you're more or less training for two camps, going into that Dustin Poirier fight in January.
Yeah, I hadn't really had too much, media requests, the odd one, but I've just been doing my thing really now. I've been, trying to enjoy, trying to find a bit of a balance as well, trying to enjoy my, have a bit of a life here as well.
Of course.
So, I've relaxed a little bit, enjoyed my time, ate some good food, and I just trained, just get back to enjoying training and not have that thought of a fight over your head, and it's done me good because it's getting to the point where I'm starting to get that hunger and that
Yeah.
it to get back in as well. So
You talked, I listened to an interview you did, I think it was before the Poirier fight, that you wanted to possibly go down to New York to train with Henzo and John Danaher down there. Have you had the chance, opportunity to do that yet?
not yet, but it's funny. I was chatting to Breeze earlier. He's back now on Saturday, so we're already making plans to head in a week or so. So that'll be my first time to get up there. So I'm really looking forward to that. First time in New York as well. So
Nice one, yeah. Good L spot there in New York. I'm sure there'll be a bar or two you'll visit there, Duffy, as well. No doubt.
that's it. There's I got some friends from home that they came over to the fight actually. They're in New York, so I might call in, and I would say we'll be there for Paddy's Day as well. So it might be rude not to go and see them. Like,
Definitely, why not? Sure, when in Rome, as they say.
that's it. Sure. That's it. I'm sure I'm going to get my arm twisted plenty anyway, so
Yeah.
maybe I'll twist it a wee bit more.
Well, last time we spoke, I think it actually in Dublin, as I mentioned there. There's been a lot more additions to the gym as well. We've seen Tarek Safadine come up and join you guys. It's obviously Sage there, I think, full time now. We've Jojo Calderwood from Scotland. Is it the best place in the world to be at the moment? Is Tristar the best place? The amount of killers in the gym, and obviously GSP, Rory McDonald there training the whole time. It's getting better and better.
I believe so. And I think that's why so many guys are flocking here. It's the atmosphere is like no other. I believe. We got great coaches. We've got a great team that's all quite close knit, and it's just a good place to be. Whether you're training for a fight or you're just doing it for the love of it, you're surrounded by good people, and I love it here. Like I said, even after I finish fighting, I think I'll end up staying here.
It must be interesting to see how all the nationalities mix as well. There's people from all over the place in TriStar. Is it, what's the banter like? Do you all get on well like a family? Is it very much on those lines?
It's always good crack. I tell you, the one that always gets me is we use so many sayings, between Ireland and the UK, like so many sayings that we take for granted just when you're chatting to ones. And, you come here and they don't really use them. Like Zach, one of the boys here, he be's laughing his head off because, we'll come out with sayings and he's just like, he doesn't know what the fuck it means. So, So like it's things you just think is normal, and you got people laughing their heads off. So it's always good crack here. We'll be in the dorms. We'll come and have a game of poker. We finish training. We go for food. So we're always we're always kind of hanging out together, and it's a real good group of guys.
And there'll be a few more Irish guys gone over as well, I believe, possibly towards the end of the year. A few of the guys from Team Rhino are going to be stopping back over to the gym, as far as I know. Still, they'll bring a few more sayings, which especially if you're someone like Reds or someone like that coming back over. Paddy Wicks there are one of them.
Yeah, it was great. Redzer, when he was out last time, it was great crack as well. That's what got the poker going. Um, so now it was good crack where Redzer was out. So I'm looking forward to having him back out to be real good. And everyone in the gym love Redzer as well. He's just one of the
He's a
people.
good lad. He's a good lad.
Soon to see him, he puts a smile on your face, sort of things.
Joe,
And,
talk to me about getting back in there. What's the timeline for you? Is there any talk of any potential rumblings or a fight, or what's for us decided is best for you and next for you?
I'm not sure at the minute. We're just kind of taking a step at a time. Like for us, I kind of left it in Faraz's hands just whenever he thinks I'm ready to come back. So obviously I kind of leave my career in the hands of my coaches. Faraz and Eric, and I trust their judgment. So, but I think they were talking maybe summer.
Yeah.
So whenever they think I'm ready, because
are you feeling the itch?
Yeah, definitely getting that itch back. It's definitely been good having that time. Last year I was pretty much in camp all year. So it was good, but I got to work quite hard to make 55. So it becomes a bit taxing.
Yeah.
And obviously being away from everyone as well, I don't get much time to see any family or anything else. So it's difficult. So at least now with this bit of time, I got my friend's wedding coming up now in the end of April, and and then I can come back and hopefully I'll have a fight to look forward to.
Is it going to be at 155? You said there you're getting down to 155 is getting a bit taxing. Are you looking at maybe going up to welterweight to 170?
Nah. It's tough. It's tough to make 55, but I can make it. I'm disciplined, and to be honest, the last cut was easy. In fact, George said I could have made 45 easy. I'm looking at a long term. I don't want to be doing these huge cuts that's going to take its toll on my health or anything else. I'm really sensible about it, and quite professional. So I work hard early, I diet early, and obviously it makes the cutting easier.
Is there anyone you have in mind as an opponent? Does it have to be someone in the top 15? Obviously, that fight against Dustin was a fantastic fight for everyone to watch. Unfortunately, you came up on the wrong side of it. But to put in a performance like that against a high level guy like Dustin, I think Dustin's number 2 or 3 in the rankings now. It sort of has to be a top 15 guy for you next again, does it?
I don't think he's that high, is he?
Or maybe 4 or 5.
Number 12, I think he is.
Oh, Dustin is he? Okay.
I think so. But I don't know. I haven't got a clue. Tell you the truth, Niall, I haven't even thought about it.
He's 10. Sorry, I don't know where I got 4 from.
Well, he's still up there.
Yeah.
I know I can mix with these guys. Obviously, that's still only my 3rd fight in the UFC. I'm only back in MMA 2 years. So I had a bit of catch up to do. But whatever. Again, I'll leave it with Faraz and Eric, and whatever they come up with, and go from there. But it doesn't really matter. There's a fight's a fight. That's the way I look at it. You can't be worrying about it or any of this. Just go in, fight who's in front of you and do your job.
Exactly. UFC Dublin, we haven't had a card announced here yet. I'm not sure what the European markets, the MEA plans are for Dublin this year. Surely that's something you'd like to set straight and even potentially headline an event there again, obviously, with what happened back in October. It was very unfortunate, as we know, but it must be something that's sort of ringing, pissing you off more or less, Duffy.
Yeah, definitely. That last thing near drove me crazy. To get pulled, a couple of days before the fight. It was just heartbreaking, after putting 10 weeks of hard work in, and and then obviously getting slated for it as well wasn't easy, because if everyone's seen the camp and seen what I put my body through, and And there was other injuries.
Was that frustrating? People coming out making stupid comments, because we know you were not medically clear for the fight. You weren't allowed to fight. Did that get underneath your skin? There was a few stupid comments. I remember Robert Whiteford made a ridiculous comment in the media day that day. There was a few other people out there slating around. Did that get underneath your skin because of the situation? And people who are educated about the sport and know about the sport know that you were medically pulled from the fight and you were not allowed to compete.
Nah, you can't let it. Like, if you let it get under your skin, I think, there's so much that drive you crazy. You just gotta. I was frustrated because obviously I put all the effort in, gone through injuries and blah blah blah, and then I didn't even get to fight.
Yeah, of course.
And then obviously, there's so many people that travelled over and everything else. So I'm just missing out on, first main event in Dublin. So that was the frustrating part. But you can't look too much around you because there's always going to be
another opportunity,
that kind of thing.
Definitely. Just a couple more ones for you, Joseph. Obviously, a big fight this weekend. Conor McGregor and Nate Diaz. Who have you got? What way can you see this fight panning out? Sorry, obviously a big fight from an Irish interest as well.
Yeah, I think Conor knocks him out in the first round.
Yeah?
Yeah, to be honest, like, Diaz's game, but I think his style really plays into the fight, and I think he, to be honest, if it finished in the first 30 seconds, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. Okay.
This is the owner of the dorms. This is the man who makes the magic happen here.
There's the man who makes the magic happen in the dorms. Hello from Ireland.
He's importing all the Europeans.
Oh, you're a gas man, Mr. Duffy. A gas man. Another couple of ones for you. I asked Tom this question a couple of weeks ago as well. GSP return in 2016?
Who knows? Like, George is always training, he's always training. But, I haven't got a clue. I don't even know if George knows, but, it's hard to know, to be honest now. Yeah, obviously he's got nothing to prove. Of
course.
He goes down as one of the legends, but whether he's got the itch back or whether it's something he wants to do, who knows? But obviously I'd be excited to see it. I've always been a huge fan of George, so we'll see.
So Joseph, just one last one for you. Go on, throw us a name out there. Who'd you like to throw down and bang with in the next few months? Hopefully the summertime. Any names? Anyone in your head you'd like to get your hands on?
Nah, I was thinking, like, if the Poirier fight went well, I wanted Diaz because I love his style and I love. He always comes to fight.
Definitely.
But
what did you make of his comments as well about how he said everyone's on steroids?
What did Diaz get? They didn't get away with it, and he's just he's funny and he's game. Every time he comes to fight, he's he always gets stuck into people.
Yeah.
You gotta appreciate that. It's
definitely.
I love that way of fighting, especially after the boxing. Tandy, when I was working with John, you really get that kind of mentality as well. Really get stuck into people, and I can appreciate it a lot more now than I ever did before.
Definitely, it's always enjoyed the Diaz brothers throwing down. So I'm looking forward to Saturday. Joseph Duffy, always a pleasure to have you on the show. Looking forward to seeing you get back in the cage soon enough. There's Joe Calderwood. Joe wrecking the place here on the show as per usual.
All the money, but she's gone a wee bit quiet. I think she's getting her ass hammered now in the poker, so
seriously,
she's not Instagramming no pictures with poker chips anymore.
Who's clearing up all the money?
She was clearing all the money.
Yeah.
Taking it all now.
Oh, we can't be having that. Joseph Duffy, Jojo Calderwood, everyone else there in Tristar, it's always a pleasure and I do appreciate the time.
Thanks, Dan. All the best.